A very good morning to all. Welcome to Global Online. Here we are back with our NTA UGC Net Paper 1 preparation for 2022 and 2023 batch, which is live at 10 a.m. As you all know that the results are out. So your next cycle preparation definitely should be from the base. And hence we have started the lectures from the basics, wherein we have taken the topic that is research aptitude. And today we are going to do the subtopic that is called as research approach. Now, before we go ahead, let's see what exactly Global Online has to offer you. So Global Online has brought a paper 1 course, which is a new batches which has started from October 2022. These new batches will be for complete paper 1 consisting of full syllabus notes. It will be consisting of full syllabus video lectures, daily lectures, recorded lectures, 60 plus mock tests, last 10 years question papers, wherein you are going to get the answer keys also. 2000 plus MCQs will with PDF, and this content is available in English as well as in Hindi. You can get in touch with us for any queries either on the given of the WhatsApp number, and at the same time, the fees for paper 1 is rupees 4,000. So in case if you have any queries with respect to anything, you can get in touch with us. If you're looking something for paper 2 and you want to ensure that your paper 1 and paper 2 preparation goes on well and simultaneously, so yes, we have paper 2 also. So paper 2, we have a complete video lectures that is for following subjects which are reflected on the screen. So these are the subjects which we have for paper 2. So these are for these subjects, we have complete video lectures, we have full syllabus test, we have full syllabus notes, we have test series for full syllabus, we have previous year question papers that is in the form of PDF, study plan is there. If you are taking paper 2 exclusively, it means if you're going for paper 2, in this you have one facility that you will be getting paper 1 free of cost. The fees is rupees 8,000. For this also you can contact us on the given WhatsApp number, and there is another method also to go for this, that is you can go with the help of our app. Now, how to go on the app and exactly what to take care of. So first of all, you have to download the app. You can download the app with the help of Google Play Store. You can download the app called as Global Online. The moment you download the app, this is the interface which you can see. And in this interface, you have to first register yourself with the mobile number, the number which you're using. Okay, you will get an SMS. You have to register yourself. The moment you registered yourself, you will see the main interface of the app. And once you make the face payment, you can go with the content part. That is, you have various units. In this units, you have various videos. You can go through the various videos. You can have a full syllabus mock test. You can have previous year question, previous year question papers. You have 2000 plus MCQ PDF, even scholarships test. Now, scholarship test is nothing but it is called as evaluation test. After every class, you can go for that particular unit and go for the evaluation test just to check out your level of preparation. This is all about the app, but in case if any users are using iOS, so they can do what is, they can go for the My Institute app, download the app. It will be asking you the organization code, that is IDBST. Once you get this code updated, you can see the rest of the interface as shown prior. So this is what you can do for your for the iOS users. So yes, now let's start with the topic for the day. So we have research approach today. We have already studied research philosophy, wherein we saw what is constructivism, pragmatism. We also saw what is positivism, what is post-positivism. We did it all in detail. So now let's move ahead and go for research approach, that is in the form of inductive and deductive. So when we talk about inductive approaches, it is something which is generalizing the theories from research. So it comes or it generalizes the theory rather than starting a project with a theory as a foundation. So it means that it generalizes the theories rather than taking it as the foundation. It means it always try to discover some new things rather than going with something which is already existing. An inductive approach would be used in study of other unknown isolated committee There is very little knowledge about this committee, and therefore this research would have conducted to gain information on the committee, leading to what? Leading to the formation of theory. So this theory, this particular research is more about what? Is more about doing a research which is, on unknown facts or isolated parts and gaining more and more of information. Now, when we talk about deductive approach, against that, it is something which begins with a theory and it's aimed to build up, through test or through research. On other hand, we can say that deductive approach would have been taken when investigation changes into physical properties, over the time. So as they would likely to be rooted in the theory of evaluation, and the starting point will be the pre-existing body of research. There's a basic difference between inductive and the deductive approach. One is to generalize the theory, other is to begin with a theory and take the concepts ahead. We have also done inductive and deductive approach in the last week, with basically with respect to what? With respect to your. So if you remember, we have already done inductive and deductive approach, understanding, how inductive approach, what type of, in the last week, distinguish between. But anyways, as I said that this part we will again revise. So I've taken this inductive and deductive approach today also. Coming to the next part, that is your this is just one keyword to remember this approaches. So inductive approaches is entitled to generate theories from the data. So whatever theories we have, we generate it from data, and which is a part of what? Which is a part of inductive approach. Deductive approach, on the other hand, it begins with a theory and it aims to build, it tests the data. So it begins with a theory and it is aimed for what? It is aimed for researching the data, using the data. Now we have next is qualitative and quantitative research. So if you remember, we have also started once qualitative and quantitative research, but as I said, these points are very important. So revision wise, we will take it once again. So qualitative data is one which involves, qualitative research is one which involves quality. Now, when I say it involves quality, it means it is used for qualitative analysis in order to understand the problems which cannot be quantified. So you cannot quantify this problem. So here we have open-ended questions. Now, what is the meaning of open-ended questions? Open-ended questions are those questions which are basically for what? Which are basically for the sake of what? No, open description. You can describe, you can plan out the things on your own way. And that results into the inductive approach. It means you have a scope of speaking a lot in this open-ended questions, and it is used in inductive type of approach that is coming from a specific to general. Under close-ended questions, we have a deductive approach wherein we have come with a general concern and we end up with a specific, general to specific. So close-ended question where we do not have more scopes, where we do not, where we do not have more of liberty. Whatever is the criteria, we have to answer in those criteria itself. So I've taken an example, similar example. So a study conducted to know how people suffer from mental disorders, that is how this affects their personal life. What hardships or what is the medical facilities, effectiveness of medical facility. That will be a qualitative data. Same if we go with quantitative, it will talk about the measurement, it will talk about the expenditure, it will talk about the time constraints or time limit which is taken. So it can quantify the research. So qualitative data, basically it is, it is semi-structured or unstructured, whereas quantitative data is usually it is the structured form. Now, so let's have a little detail with qualitative data also with respect to quantitative and with respect to deductive and inductive way. So when we say qualitative research, so qualitative research is the one which focuses on textual. So I'm just spending extra time so that these topics, you don't have to go back again and again. These topics you don't have to, refer with, and anything stress on. So once you understand, you can be able to easily crack the questions. So qualitative research focuses on textual, visual or audio-based data, while Quantitative research is focusing on numerical data, which is, where inductive approaches are usually used within qualitative research, while quantitative research tends to reflect a deductive approach, usually informed by positivist philosophy. So we know positivist philosophy, which comes up with a new rule. The reason for using a deductive approach here is that quantitative research typically begins with a theory as a foundation, where progress is made through hypothesis testing. So in other words, a wider theory is applied to a particular context, event, or observation to see whether these fits in the theory. As an example, that is the evolution of the example of evolution above. So I'm just giving a pause over here just so that you can understand, okay, qualitative, where we come up with the textual information, quantitative, where we come up with the numerical data. Inductive approach is used to qualify the research, whereas quantitative approach tends to have a deductive approach research. And hence, we have understood that in qualitative and quantitative, what aspect are used. Then we have is your experimental and ex post facto research. So when we talk about experimental research, it establishes the cost and relationship. Okay, it studies, wherein the studies conducted to wherein the studies conducted to study the relationship between variables by manipulating some or other constant. Keeping manipulating and keeping others constant. So here the effect observed is experiment due to the cause and change, like example, change or packaging. So it means if you are taking an example of this research, okay, so in that research, what you will get to see is that the effect of change packaging on sales, of regular biscuit brand. So you can see definitely the impact on the change, which is, brought in by the experiment. When we have ex post facto research, it explains how independent variables affect dependent variable. And it is also called as quasi experiments. Quasi experiment, as participants here are, basically grouped on the basis of a particular characteristics of research interest. So how adult education influences confidences in adults. Now, when we come to ethnographic research, here also a lot of students get confused. So ethnographic research is something which is originally developed by anthropologists to study a society, a culture, or a group. Okay, your participation observation enables to share the experience of the subject. The purpose of this here it is historical research we have. So the purpose of the historical research is to reach the insights or conclusion about the past or the occurrence. Historical research entitled more than simply complying or presenting the factual information. It also requires interpretation of the information. Historical research is a qualitative technique because here we want to look a lot of textual information. Okay. Then next one we have is action research. So yes, action research, again, very important part. You have to remember a lot of concepts. Questions were seen on action research. So action research is basically, it indicates what? It indicates, cycle of action or a cycle of inquiry. Okay. Since it is typically following a predetermined process, it is repeated over time. A simple illustrative example is identifying a problem, collect the data, organize, analyze, and interpret the data, develop a plan, implement a plan, evaluate the results, identify a new problem, or repeat the process. So action research is basically one which comes with an illustrative example where you identify a problem, where you collect the data, where you organize, analyze, interpret the data, develop a plan, implement a plan, evaluate the result, identify a problem, or repeat the process. And these are all parts of what? These are all the parts of action research. So action research, in short, though it is called a cycle of action or, inquiry, but it is something which is immediate, immediately something comes out, immediate action which is taken in order to solve the problem. Next is observation research. So in observation research, it is a qualitative research technique where the researchers observe the participants' behavior in a situation, in a natural situation, depending upon the type of observation or what is the goal of the study. or the market researcher that is having, you know, various levels of participation. Sometimes the researcher will insert themselves into the environment. It means they will themselves consider, and other times this researcher will not intervene in the setting and observe from the distance. So it means that they will come, or they may not be a part of the observation but observe it properly, and the purpose is to gather more reliable insights. So in other words, research can capture the data and what participants can do, as they opposed to say what they, you know, what they do. So it means observation either by becoming a part of it or by completely, you know, being away from it. So that is what observation data is concerned about. So now we have a case study research and a survey research. So case study is nothing but it is deals with unusual events in depth, you can say. It can be qualitative as well as quantitative, depending upon the content, what content it has. Whereas survey research is that which is, you know, a predefined group of respondents to carry out the information and various insights. In that we have grounded theory, that is, we have another set of research is grounded theory, where no information is given. Everything needs to start from a ground. Everything needs to start from the from completely new. So grounded research theory is typically that is qualitative, okay, and it is something which is, you know, takes inductive approach. So this research involves identifying the commonalities between the sets of data and results that are drawn from, you know, the completed research work without aiming or finding the pre-existing theory. So whatever they want to do or whatever is set to be done, it is done from the base, and no type of information is prior required. Okay, so here we have a choices. Now here, if you remember in research onion, I have even had this mono method, mixed method, and multi method. So you should at least remember that. So mono method is one data, either qualitative or quantitative, which can be used for a study. Like for example, conduct a study investigating a community opinion. Okay, mixed data where you make quantitative and qualitative implement both. That is, for example, to assess, you know, the people's to assess how many people in the community eat specific types of pizzas. Multi methods, a variety of range, for example, to study looking from a specific culture, or study from the you know, specific culture, either with the help of a specific method, either quantitative or using, you know, numerical method. So that all is a part of what? It's a part of your multi method. Time horizons, yes, longitudinal and cross-sectional. This also we have done very well. So when we talk about longitudinal and cross-sectional, so longitudinal, it is carried out, which involves a data for a multiple, you know, points of time, and it is elongated. It is for a huge, long period. Cross-sectional, it is one shot, or cross-sectional studies are those which, you know, are taken during the weeks, during the months, or during the days also, you can say. And based on that, where the sample is completely, you know, the sample is different, it takes a lesser period of time complete to longitudinal. So yes, this also we have done in detail, but I have just revised it. So if you see in research onion, these were the topics which we left out, that is research approach, inductive and deductive. Then we studied qualitative and quantitative once again. Then we studied qualitative and quantitative from research point of view in detail. We studied experimental and ex post facto research, including ethnographic, action research, observation research, case study, survey research, grounded research, and coming to various choices. That is it a mono method? Is it a mixed method or a multi method? And then coming to time horizons. Okay, so now the last topic which we have is the steps of research process. So yes, it starts with selection of the topic, defining the research problem, review of literature, developing the objective, you know, identifying the variables, prepare the research design, carrying out sampling, collection of data performance, that is analysis and hypothesis testing, generalizing, and writing a research report. But yes, with these steps of research, I'm going to do a lot of questions, you know, different type of question comes where the topics are completely twisted, and then the question comes, you know. So in the coming classes, we will be doing step of research properly once again, with different type of questions, different type of steps, and sequencing them, you know, making them, arranging them properly. So we will see that in shortly in the next classes. So yes, that's all for the day, everyone. Thank you, and stay tuned for the next coming updated lectures, as we have to start our preparation very well from the keeping in point your next upcoming cycle. Okay, thank you, everyone.